We are the bread and butter of all the information that's been swimming across the internet for crypto news.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What do you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Over 2 years, he's made like $17K on Roblox. And he's
What?
Like 12.
You never listen to me, and we must be married. Yeah, well, how much are you investing? $100.
400 to 600,000.
Do you think it's
Generational signals are now. Now.
You're spread so thin, that's how you get in on Snake. Snake's been my biggest winner.
All right. Welcome on. It's been a hell of a weekend. Folks. Lots of things. Too many things to cover for me today. This episode brought to you by cortisone, because I would not have been able to peel myself out of bed.
Yikes.
Should it not have been for this hydrocortisone anti-itch cream. So big shout out to Cortisone 10. I have poison oak. All over my arm. It's bad. Apparently you're not affected. Aaron mocked me. Yeah, he can lay in it. Hannah, you're here. I know you're not in Dubai. You're here.
Why'd you got to bring that up?
I'm just, you know what? We're here. I just think it's kind of a bad time to fly to the Middle East right now. Yeah. I mean, it's relevant to discuss. We have a special guest on today. We have a Mindsum 10 coming on the show. We also have Nick behind the board. He's fixing some things right now, but we have the chaotic. And we also have BJ, the ghost of the machine. He may be popping in and dropping some food rain on us. No mic for Hannah Hughes. Maybe she was just talking a little bit too soft.
Oh, wait, we got to see.
Oh, yeah. The other mics are muted still, Nick. That's a thing. Yeah. Quite a bit to cover in the news today, you guys. If you're not already, though, make sure you're following us. Here is my Twitter account. And, I'm kind of hard to find on Twitter. I'm trying to let people know. Oh God, this thing is busted again. We have so many systems breaking today. Did you see?
Look, see what we're dealing with, guys.
No.
This is garbage. It's gonna come. There it is.
Hey.
Look at that. So yeah, we have this at Druth Crypto. You can find me there sitting with John Lavelle. I have 2,128 followers, and I will not ever DM you about crypto. Get off my lawn. I also have Nick Diamond Undies going semi-viral with his call out on the appropriation of cowboy culture.
Yeah, my takes are very intense.
Yeah,
so.
I was here for it, though. Look at you, 1,500 likes, 500,000 views or insights. Quite a move there.
That's your post?
That's
Nick?
Nick's post. Yeah, right there.
Well, I'm responding to her post.
Yeah. God, I can't even go into this. And then we have Hannah Hughes here at Hannah Hughes _ one of her many accounts. Is this account blocked still, Hannah?
I think it's good now.
It's good now?
It kept getting locked last week, though. I don't know why. So
maybe we might need to go re-solidify your crypto or your accounts. Like, what if there's this nefarious ghost of the machine messing with your stuff, causing you to get blocked quite a bit? I mean, you've gotten blocked way more than I've ever seen anyone get blocked by for no reason. So there's something a little bit weird going on there.
You can follow the
It is probably Owen's fault, Shady Bandito. I agree.
Owen.
Shout out to Cody, Jamin Gonzalez, DOD Slave, Kevin Parsons, Shake and Bake, Manawak. Heard Manawak went golfing with Taco. Very jealous.
Wow.
Very jealous.
Thanks for the invite, Manawak.
Well, he knows I can't go. I mean, you should invite
Dick
Nick.
Wiener.
Yeah, Nick will go. No problem. I'm going to get out there as soon as I can, Manawak. Shout out to Cody bringing up
I'm
ICP.
inspired after the Masters.
Yeah, I mean,
anyone watch the Masters?
No,
yeah,
I didn't.
I watched a little bit of it.
Did you like it?
it?
I watched like 5 seconds of it. I can't stand watching the Masters.
Why? It's amazing.
It's so slow paced.
Anyone in the chat watch the Masters?
Yeah, let us know. I just can't do it. You know what I mean? I can't do it. There's plenty of stuff to be watching. Let's see here. So let's check out the markets, where we're at, just before we get into all the news. Do a quick refresh. Now, I took a risk this weekend. I was saying 60K is going to hold. There it is.
Wow.
$64,000. And our line of support is still there. We have Ethereum, 3,122. And moving on here, I want to really kind of look at some things that I was seeing on the markets. AIOZ coming back in a violent manner. Core, Pendle.
Core has a 61% pump on the 24-hour.
Yeah.
What the frickin'?
These are the signals of extreme strength.
Yeah.
These projects pumping like this.
Absurd T.
Insane levels of testosterone oozing from all of these projects.
I popped my Zen before I came on.
Do you really? You want a Zen? I got a lip dinner.
What is it? 6 or 3?
It's a 4. It's an on nicotine pouch with caffeine and nicotine in it. Both.
Probably do a 4.
All right, give me a second. I'll get it out for you. Look at the Life Quant, still a stable coin, but up nearly 10%. Ondo showing a 10% gain, still trying to get up near that 90-cent mark.
All the crypto influencers are trying to catch up to our Ondo call.
I know.
That? Yeah.
I know. Yeah. And it's not too late for Ondo. I mean, I don't hate that they're doing that. And like Aerodrome, I don't feel like we're late on Aerodrome, you guys. Like, yes, I bought it at 18 cents. I'm still going to be buying it at $2. These new projects, SWE, showing a little bit of signs of life, but you can just go up this list and just kind of, you can understand the new guard in altcoins by looking at this gain that was made in the 24 hours post cataclysm. These projects are really starting to shine amongst the rest. Go to the major losers here. Dog with Hat down to $2.60. BitTensor, this is kind of interesting to see for BitTensor. It had been performing counter to the markets. We got a good opportunity, in my opinion, for Tau, TIA token. I'm not buying Bonk. Starknet, definitely like what I've seen with Starknet, but the price has been just really suffering. Pepe shaving off a little bit, and WorldCoin can kiss my ass. So good to see this. Near Protocol coming down here though, man. $0 with the Membies coming in, hooking up Shady Bandito. Yeah, incredible. Injective, look at this one. Now, is Stacks and Injective I feel very strongly about, and as well as Pyth. Down $24 on Injective, $2.50 on Stacks, and then Pyth right at around 58 cents. This is juicy. These are the times we stay patient for to get these good entry points. And there's a lot of reasons why the markets moved the way they did here. I'll just go back to Bitcoin so you can get just a forest through the trees view about what's going on here. So over the weekend, I'm sure everyone knows we had the release of Iran moving missiles and large amounts of drones into Israel, caused a very sharp sell-off for a moment. But my God, the strength in the recovery is undeniable. No bear can sit around and really expect lower lows after. I mean, look at the monthly here. You have this spike down, massive, sell-offs happening down to 61,000. Now coming in and holding the line right at about 62, just making the truck way on up here. If you look at this from the broader sense, it's a bull flag that'll come to conclusion in about 2 or 3 months. But as it sits right now, health on a shelf. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
What'd you call it?
Health on a shelf.
Health on a shelf.
This is the shelf of health being built right here at around 61,000.
A really good question.
Oh, what's that?
Bella Chow, 29-year-old son, started asking questions about Bitcoin and the halving in our family chat. Out of nowhere, my wife starts filling him in on it all. I was like, damn, she has been listening. Wow. Shout out to Bella Chow's wife.
Hell yeah. That's what I want to see.
We're all about wives here.
Yeah. I mean, there are no mistresses allowed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wife changing money is for losers.
That's right. That is so true. It's like without my wife and my family, I have no huge reason to make a buku amount of bucks. I can just exist with a mattress, a shovel, and my nicotine.
You have everything you need.
Yeah. But I need my family. That's the driving factor here. Just quite a bit of stuff going on. Here's just a look at Bitcoin whales, what they're holding. They're now holding 9% of the circulating supply. So totaling 1.8 million Bitcoin, including spot ETFs. Look at the growth on this chart. This is a short-term holder whales. Absolutely going bonkers. Nick, you're invited to the next one from Manawak there. Look at that. You got a golf invite.
Golf day.
Manawak's a wonderful human.
I should probably learn how to golf.
You really should.
I have a set of clubs. I'm just terrible.
Or, just go there knowing that you don't know how to golf and then admit that you don't know how to golf. And then it's less weird when you don't know how to golf.
I do know how to golf. It's just that I am left-handed. And so I've always played with absolutely shitty clubs. So that's
You
the
play with
problem.
right clubs?
You're left-handed too?
No, I play left-handed clubs, but the left-handed rentals are all just beat to shit.
Well, I learned right-handed because of that reason.
Yeah.
I'm lefty, but I refuse to play on a lefty set of clubs. They're garbage.
Yeah.
And I didn't have money for the brand new, set when I was a young man. But large whales in the short term gobbling up nearly 9% of Bitcoin. Now we have this. Bitcoin RSI has reset to levels that were last seen when the price was at $41,800. Bitcoin price hitting support for the third time. Now, from a technical analyst standpoint, this is what they, in my opinion, call health on a shelf. And essentially, you can see it busting down to that level. And that sits right at around $61,800, $61,900. Absolutely insanely bullish. You look at the RSI hitting the lowest level that it has since, here, I'll back up a little bit so you can see this one. Let's see if I can see it. Right under my face here, you have the RSI. It did eke a little bit lower than this.
Face.
Yeah, get my ugly mug out of the way here. So the RSI level was at this spot, kind of the end of January, beginning of February. And now we have reset. And don't be surprised if it goes down a little bit lower here, folks. But essentially, RSI is low, price holding high. We looking Gucci. Moving on to the DeFi investor calling some good stuff out. Remember when China banned Bitcoin? Now they want a piece of the pie, and Hong Kong wants to become the next crypto hub. The same thing will happen to the United States. The SEC will eventually realize that this industry is here to stay, and the U.S. will become crypto friendly, not by choice, but by force. They have to keep up with the technological arms race.
Let me amend that. They already know that it's here to stay.
Right.
And they're mad about it.
What you got, Hannah?
I was just talking to somebody that has a product in like the Web3 space today, and they were talking about launching it. And I think the best way for them to do it is on a DEX, but US citizens would have to use a VPN. So they're like, what do we do here? Like, are we just going to have to exclude the US market? And I was like, that's such a big market.
It is.
To exclude.
Yeah.
Like, you would never want to do that, especially with the product that they had. I'm like, because the US would spend the most money on it. But there's these stupid little regulations and things that you have to think of right now that is not benefiting the US economy.
Yeah.
Like, the politicians that are making the decisions are not smart.
Well, I mean, I would say they're smart. I just also think they're nefarious.
Programmed.
I think that they're nefarious. So it's either they're dumb or evil.
I'm going with the evil.
Yeah, it's
like a mixture of the two. Is that allowed?
I mean, you
I
don't
don't
become a
know.
politician
We're all
without
dumb.
being
They think
smart.
we're all dumb.
It's
Exactly.
calculated
That's what
for
it is.
sure,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make sense.
But there's a
because-
lot of truth to what you're saying, Hannah. Like Hong Kong is approving its first batch of spot Ethereum ETFs.
Bullish.
And Bitcoin ETFs. That puts the fire under the ass of the SEC to move the approval through for American companies. But it is 2:15, and I believe we have a very special guest here.
Oh, he's kind of special.
He's very special. I'm going to get my earbuds
We
in
got
here.
like all these professional earbuds.
See if
now,
I can
okay.
pull him up here. We have upgraded the studio. I have a squid system of sound relay here. Let's see if we got him in the wings here. Is he hanging out?
Watch this.
Oh.
Should we give him a special intro?
He's very, yes, you
I'm
should.
going to give him the barn door
Yeah,
intro.
he
So hang on a
deserves it.
second.
Okay.
We got to turn his mic on.
Everyone behave as this new guest comes in.
I don't want to see anything bad in the chat.
Yeah, nothing but love.
Let's see.
Nah,
We'll
just
do
kidding.
vertical wipe.
All right, let's go.
Look at that.
How you doing? How you doing, Mind Some?
What's up, guys?
Joining us here on the basement. Appreciate you, man. For some reason, my personal account wasn't following you, but I am following you. For anyone that, wants to follow you, I have you pulled up on Twitter, but if you can, give us an intro to yourself, man, what you're all about, and let's get into it.
Well, thanks for having me on the show, guys. I'm a longtime watcher. I've always actually dreamed about being on y'all's show, and I'm so glad that our morality and our thought process really seem to align. So thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
It's an honor to be here, man.
Absolutely.
So
and where can
a little
people
bit
follow
about
you,
me.
brother, though? Your Twitter, you have some fire tweets. Where can they find you on the Twitterverse?
So MindSum10 is my handle. You can find me pretty easily. YouTube channel, same thing, MindSum10. I'm
Sweet.
Jake, by the way. You guys can call me MindSum10. You can call me Jake. Doesn't make any difference to me.
Perfect. Now, I saw some things you had posted. You had brought up that Bitcoin open interest was hitting all-time highs. Just seeing that massive influx coming back into the market. From where we're sitting right now in just the overall structure of things, are you feeling bullish for the price action and this explosion in interest? Or what is your kind of thoughts on where the markets are moving? Because you have more of a better beat on what miners themselves are doing. And something that is a big question in my mind is, are these massive Bitcoin mining firms going to be selling off pre/post halving? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to see that big dump in preparation for the doubling of difficulty to get Bitcoin out of the same machinery? Like, where do you think things are going to be moving as we approach? We're about 4 days away.
Well, nobody likes to say things are different this time, but we have seen a few things that are different this time. And let me pull up a couple of charts here. I can show you a few things. So one, we can take a look at the miner reserves right now. And as you can see, ever since we started to head back up in the right direction in October 24th of 2023, the miner reserves are just continuously going down as the price goes up. So if we're expecting a massive sell-off from the miners at the time of the halving, they're depleting their stock as time has progressed since the beginning of this year. So I don't know how much is left in the tank to hit full throttle. So I don't expect a massive dump from Bitcoin miners.
Okay.
In fact, if they're doing what I'm doing, let me pull up another chart for you guys here. Bear with me just a second. So I'm looking at this 11-year trend line here.
That's a mega
so
chart.
This goes back to 2013.
Hell
Okay.
And that's kind of when Bitcoin started to mature a little bit. And, we've got our bear markets. We kind of went below this last cycle. And what I'm looking at right now, if we zoom in on this, I'm expecting us to retest this trend line here. And if we do it sometime in the near future, then we're probably going to get a wick down right at or below 60. We may even dip below this trend line a little bit. So I do expect there to be some selling pressure for a little while, and I expect that to stretch out until maybe the end of May. And then I'm hoping we pick back up and, we continue this trend line from there and we hit new all-time highs and all things look good. But it kind of worries me that if we don't see a little bit more downside from where we're currently at, and we continue to just take off, that, some of these people that are calling for, a trend change in the 4-year cycles, and we're going to hit the peak much sooner this time, maybe towards the end of 2024, that I don't like that scenario as much as the traditional 4-year cycles playing out. I think we may be somewhat muted, especially considering all the things that are going on with the macroeconomic situation and, the political fears and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And it's interesting to see kind of your trend line built so far. I mean, that is so much data that's riding, and, there's a lot of interesting points that were found as levels on that graph you showed me. Really in the depths of the last bear market, when we're in that $15,000 trench, a lot of what I was able to stick to my convictions on was the cost to mine Bitcoin, sitting above where it was actually selling at that when it was 17K. Now, essentially, we're going to get a halving, all right? So they'll be getting half the rewards for mining the blocks. We've seen, it's pretty clear that BlackRock is heavily interested. They've got a large portion of interest in the top 4 mining companies in the U.S. Do you, in my mind, seeing the price to produce a Bitcoin, in essence, double, comes to my mind as just an extra bullish thing that, is pushing the markets forward. But showing that trend line that you just looked at and the dip sometime over the next 2 months down to 60. I mean, if it happens within the next month, is that where it kind of lands to that 60K level, 59K level, as far as like, because I want to find a point where we back up the truck. You know what I mean? We get so many market dips, and just looking at that trend line, I mean, I'm almost feeling to be prepared to back the truck up should we hit that 59K level.
Yeah, this is where I plan on deploying a little bit more capital. And personally, I don't typically buy a lot of crypto. I ECA, as Nick would like to refer to it. I use my hardware to earn crypto. Sometimes I'll stick that into USDT and I'll buy the dips. But at this very moment, I am considering, finding a few coins that I think have some potential. And you brought up something really interesting, and that is, the price to mint a Bitcoin essentially doubling. So we're looking at a floor price of around 60K. And if you guys have ever watched Eric Crown Crypto's channel, he does a really good job of showing where that floor price is. So we've only got about a week left before that changes. Now, we could see a scam wick drop a little bit below that. So I'm thinking if we go anywhere under 60, let's say 57, 58, 56, somewhere around there, expect the altcoins to take a pretty significant hit. And at that point, I'm definitely going to be looking at putting a little bit more into the market.
Gotcha. Yeah, and there's no lie. There's a lot of macro stuff going on right now, as we saw. I mean, this weekend shaved off 10% real quick for Bitcoin. Yeah, it's regained some ground and stuff like that, but it's not back up to those $70,000 levels, so it's definitely not out of the weeds right now. And the timing of the cycle, what you're talking about, like I feel like Nick has brought up some data points that kind of pointed to a potentially end of 2024. I was looking at around like May of 2025, like slightly quickened cycle. But there is a lot of questions and a lot of conversation going around about if that overall 4-year cycle, design is still applicable to what we're getting into, because now we got the regulatory clarity. We're just recovering, China's turning the technological trade war heat up on us by approving that Ethereum spot ETF before U.S. markets were able to. So we're probably going to see an Ethereum ETF approval, in my opinion, this year. It's hard to imagine the 4-year cycle changing, but the velocity of this upswing and capturing that previous all-time high before the halving even got here is what got me kind of thinking a little bit harder about that. Do you feel like we're on the overall same kind of time frame structure as previous cycles as it sits right now?
Well, when you look at the entire picture, it all starts to make sense, right? So there was a lot of people that were calling for a melt up before a cataclysmic crash.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't had a cataclysmic crash, but we've had a lot of things that are pointing to that direction. And we certainly have had a melt up. If you take a look from, the time that the ETFs were approved until where we're at now, this is typically not what we see in a regular cycle. We don't typically exceed all-time highs, right around the halving. But we also, potentially had somewhat of a muted cycle last time. We had a lot of negative events that were happening with COVID and a lot of other things. So, let's say, for instance, if we had reached 100K in the previous cycle, then coming back to where we're at now, that may be about where we should have been without all of the other things that take place. But
right.
I think that it is extremely likely that we do continue to melt up until election time.
Gotcha.
And then if what I'm seeing has taught me anything, I don't think that the current administration is planning on leaving anything good to pick up and try to
correct
to take off from there. You know what I mean?
That'd be accurate.
Correct.
I think they know their time is done, and they're just going to leave a complete mess for the next administration to pick up from. So
I mean, it's bearish. You're just calling it as we see it, though. You know,
Jake, I did have one question. If
Sure.
if you're a hobby miner, if you're not to steal a turn of phrase there, but if you're just like an at-home person, maybe you got one rig, where would you be pointing that person to be moving their hash rate over the next 6 months?
Well, it kind of depends on what their goals and aspirations are. So if you take a look at your typical hardware, and if you look at something like hashrate.no, which does a great job of showing you, what overclocks look like, what you should be mining, it's a good resource, but it's not the end all be all, and it doesn't tell you everything that you need to know. That's where finding channels like mine, you can get information a little bit quicker sometimes, but they do a pretty good job. But, I would say an average GPU for anybody that has a decent gaming desktop PC would probably be like a 3070 or a 3060. And right now, if you were dual mining iron and gram, you'd have revenue of about 57 cents a day and 26 cents a day in profit if you were at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. So, if you take, let's say, for instance, this 3060 and you look at all of these different options here, you're probably looking at about 50 cents a day in revenue, which is certainly not going to make you rich, right? So if you take, let's just say 57 cents a day times 365 days, you're looking at $208 in a year. But if the coin that you're mining 5x's or 10x's from there, you're looking at 1,000 to 2,000 just off of a simple graphics card.
Right.
Now, you could also, potentially just buy some crypto and hope that you pick the right coin. But to me, I still have an asset that I can get rid of later. So that hardware could also double in price.
Yeah.
So not only do I have the income from the mining stream, but I also have the hardware to part ways with if I ever decided to.
Mm-hmm.
And most likely that piece of hardware should be worth more if we do get to euphoria again. So
absolutely.
Something
and you
to
see
consider.
the trade wars going on, the raw materials to make those things as just an added catalyst. Like, it's my view that what we see going on with China and the United States is more just a play of power in the production of semiconductor chips and computer system. I feel like he who has the data is the king in a few years. So, holding those goods is probably going to be pretty damn advantageous over the next few years, man. It's really quite awesome having you jump on here and give us your mining alpha. You're always sharing really good stuff on your Twitter page, and make sure everyone that's watching this channel go follow Mine Some. I brought his channel up here just so we can see. Ooh, he follows me too. So
wow,
this is huge. Okay, this is breaking news. I am followed by this man, and people like Mine Some, Nick. This is the bread and butter of crypto. So make sure to throw your support behind the bedrock of what crypto is made of. Jake, it was an absolute pleasure having you join us on the show, man. Looking forward to getting you back on here. Now, before I let you go, are there any really cool proof of work projects or any new kind of crypto projects that you're watching on the up and come to potentially get a bag of?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that has piqued a lot of people's interest right now is the fact that Ethereum is in the process of working with Bitmain, and there will be an ASIC for that. But Goldshell beat them to the punch and has already released theirs. It is currently making about $100 a day if you had your hands on one.
Whoa.
And it would cost you 15 grand to obtain. So a lot of us YouTubers in the mining scene are saying, maybe wait on the Goldshell and see what Bitmain comes out with. But, if you take a look at what, let's say, for instance, Caspa did when we started speculating that ASICs were in existence, from there, it's just been to the moon.
Absolutely.
And we could potentially see something like that happen with the lithium. Their ecosystem is growing. They've already had a tremendous amount of growth here in the last couple of months. I expect some good things to come out of those. Now, there is one other one that I'm going to mention, but I'm still doing my research on it. And, you may be able to get into this a little bit early. If you take a look at Cubic's chart, it looks pretty new, but if you compare that to something like Gram on the 4-hour chart, you can see a very similar pattern here. We got a fractal going on. So this was the beginning of Graham. And at this point, when people started selling off, everybody's like, oh, you know, this thing's not going to do much. And then you fast forward to what happened later. We're doing pretty well. But if you compare that chart to what Cubic is at now, Cubic is very interesting. There's some things that I like and some things that I don't like. Same creator from IOTA. He's done a couple other projects. So that may be one for you guys to check out. But in my opinion, this really isn't a true blockchain quite yet. It's like it starts and stops every week as they're trying to figure things out and produce
does
more
that matter
use cases.
anymore? Solana's, getting up to $200 and it shuts off on a weekly basis. The reason has left. The chaotic animal spirits are back. I love that fractal you dug up on that project. I mean, that is looking extremely exciting. And that's the type of stuff, these are the types of picks I'm looking for at this point in the cycle. My blue chip bags are already built, just out here prospecting, got a good entry on a couple new RWA projects, but Ethereum, now Cubic, they're going to be on my radar to definitely get into. I've seen a lot of growth on Ethereum as well. I think Nick even did a video.
I did do it. Yeah.
Deep dive on how to mine Ethereum a long time ago. So
yeah.
This is the alpha, man. I appreciate you coming on the show and just letting us know what you're all about, giving us some alpha. And yeah, man, hope to have you back. You be able to join us after World War III gets done or what?
Yeah, hope so, man. I'll crawl out from my bunker when it's time.
All right, brother.
Cool.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks, Jake.
Take care. That was awesome.
What a guy.
That was awesome. God, I love getting that insight. I mean, like it's something special to have you, Nick, because you're on the ground floor, you're beating up miners,
Yep.
That got weird real quick, but yeah, I like talking to experts in their field. I don't like to try to act like I know everything about everything. I don't. I'm pretty damn good at macro and war stuff, and just general crypto.
His voice was relaxing too.
He is very good.
Yeah.
I've done probably 3 or 4 Twitter spaces with him. Yeah. He's got a very good radio
very
voice.
very calming.
Yes.
Yes. Him and Hannah together, just talking together for hours, would put me to sleep.
They should just read the Bitcoin white paper.
I would fall asleep. I would be in a good dream too. So here we go. We're gonna hop into the rest of the news here. We got quite a stack to get through. Looks like Germany is going big on Bitcoin, you guys. The largest federal bank, LBBW, to offer Bitcoin and crypto custody services to fulfill increasing corporate demand. Germany, one of the largest economies on the planet. So yeah, it's just one of their largest federal banks in just one of the largest economies on the planet that is showing and signaling there is increased corporate demand. We all know this is coming. We're all absolute savages positioned ahead of the FOMO from Wall Street, but it is worldwide. Now we have this. This guy was an absolute G. UFC fighter. I love private property. Let me tell you something.
Play this video.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this. Hold on.
If you care about your, I love you, property.
Did you press the?
If you care about your fucking content, I'll read Ludwig von Mises and the 6 lessons of the Austrian Economic School, motherfuckers.
What did he say?
About your fucking content, I'll read Ludwig von Mises and the 6 lessons of the Austrian Economic School, motherfuckers.
I love that energy.
I love understand a word he said.
Here, I'll read it out to you.
Read that book.
Yeah, read Ludwig von Mises and the 6 lessons of the Austrian Economic School, motherfuckers. So, just an absolute bad. I better follow this guy right now while I'm on it.
He's like, read.
Yeah.
I gotta see if we can reach out to him and
we should hit him up. We should have him join the show. Yeah, people are waking up to the fact, the baseline that if you have a private entity in control of your money supply, you no longer have a country nor a government. You have a bank that views you as a commodity to squeeze and release as it see fit for higher profit margins. That guy just bringing it to the table, letting people know in pop culture that the bread and circus must come to an end. And this is from Mike Alfred. I know a guy who sold all his Bitcoin at $61,666. Pretty rough number there. Because Iran was apparently very serious about destroying Israel this time, and that global nuclear warfare was inevitable. Now he's in a state of panic as Bitcoin has bounced back to $65,000 and he doesn't know what to do. Very scary situation indeed. And I just wanted to highlight this quote from Mike Alfred because there's a lot of concern, okay? And it's understandable concern. Things are very, very spicy on the macro, but guess what? They've always been spicy somewhere. Yeah. Now we just have the increased velocity of information, which in turn, an increased velocity in the markets. Crypto never sleeps. It dumps on that immediate news release and then pops right back up. And yeah, I mean, I think that conflict is going to be kinetic. It's also going to be electronic, and it's going to be trade-based. What we've seen so far is electronic and trade-based warfare. And unfortunately, I do believe there will be a degree of kinetic energy used. But at large, as long as we still have the internet in 5 years, we're on the moon. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where my opinion of it is. And if we don't have internet, we have bigger problems than our Bitcoin bags.
But if we don't get likes, we're going to have an even bigger problem.
That is a major
problem. We
problem.
have not even breached 100
We
likes.
need to breach 100.
What are you doing?
We need to breach 100.
We just pour our heart and soul out every day.
Hannah took her shoes off for you guys.
Gross.
Okay.
Guys, we got feed pics incoming, and you won't even smash the likes. Come on.
God. What in the world?
All right, so now we're going to look at the world money supply, you guys. Game of Trades highlighting this. The market relative to money supply is entering a zone that is only seen during the dot-com bubble run. If the same previous high is seen on this ratio, that would send the S&P 500 to 6,500 points. Okay. So now this is the melt-up conversation. And I do think that we're going to be continuing on up. I don't think it's out of line to think the S&P 500 is going to accomplish the 6,500 level in the next few years because we are experiencing, like, the dot-com bubble was the explosion of the internet and all of the different layers that the internet of today is. There are many different layers to the internet. They don't call them layer twos, but there's different mechanisms that were continuously added to the internet's development through the process of its growth. And so when we sit here and spit on a different layer two or whatever, because it's not your favorite layer two, this is a gargantuan ecosystem that we're looking to overhaul. So you have to have room in your heart for, shitty systems like Solana to go to the moon as well. I'm just saying.
You said it.
You know who's not going to get out of the grave though, Nick? X.
Really?
No, Hex is not getting out of the grave.
We have a Hex story?
Dude, I mean, we don't have a Hex. I mean, the story's in the graph. Let's go to the graph.
What's it doing?
It is up 1% on the day.
What a pumper. What a mover.
Here's the year, though.
Wow.
Problems.
Yeah.
97% down on the year as the rest of the market absolutely ripping. And when I see the SEC going after Richard Hart, maybe they're right. Maybe.
How's Pulse
Maybe
doing?
Gary was right.
Yeah, let's go see Pulse.
Was Gary right?
A broken clock is right twice a day. You know what I mean? Let's see if we got Pulse chain on this. Probably don't even keep track of it. Oh, it's up 4% on the day.
Look at that.
Let's go to the year.
Holy God.
Oh my God. Down 71%. So I don't know what the hell people are still doing in this thing, man.
It's kind of funny. The profile picture is like a heartbeat. They should update it. It should be a flat line.
Flat line instead of the little beep there.
Yeah.
That's burn. That's good, Aaron. We really need to make that happen.
I do my part on this show.
You really do.
He does.
Aaron
does a lot around here. And I don't care what they say, Aaron. I think you're doing a great job.
We got a lot of macro news, a lot of questions about what is Bitcoin going to do after World War III really kicks off. And this is just a great thread I came across from Matthew Lisiak. Why has America been engaged in endless wars since 1970? And what does it have to do with inflation in the United States dollar? Well, everything. And he writes it all down in a thread. Stay with us here.
Those are some big soldiers.
What, these guys?
Like, I
mean,
feel
these
like-
are corn-fed.
I feel like that was like 20 years ago.
I mean, there's still a lot of good soldiers in the...
There were no puppy masks. I don't believe
There were no puppy masks at this time. There were no leather bondage systems being used on the generals at their press briefings. But it is not by coincidence.
Yeah, just Google it.
It's terrible. That from the end of the Napoleonic Wars in 1815 to the beginning of the World War I in 1914, the world would witness its longest period relative peace, while at the same period, nearly every civilized nation backed their currency by precious metals. And here's a fantastic picture of the original Godzilla. Peace, bro. That is because under the gold standard, any prolonged conflict could only be financed by the consent of the public through a form of direct taxation or the sale of war bonds. If the public rebelled against either, the ruling party desiring the war would be forced to drain its own treasury, providing a powerful incentive to avoid conflict. Imagine that. What a world. All of that would change with World War I in 1914 after John Maynard Keynes gave Great Britain intellectual cover that would allow it to escalate a war its people didn't want by confiscating the wealth of its citizenry and replacing it with paper. Let's go a little bit more. So what he would later call a masterly manipulation. What a story this is. I know that this is, if anyone needs this history, retain this history. This matters so much for where we're going.
Yep.
War would be among the reasons America severed its connection to the gold standard in 1971. Fighting a war was costly, and political authorities needed to find a way to make more money if they were going to continue to maintain presence in Vietnam. The alchemy inherent in fiat allowed wars to persist over longer durations and consume greater amounts of wealth while imposing arguably less opportunity costs to its ruling regimes than at any time in history.
It made war cheap.
It made war cheap.
You could put it on a credit
and
card.
You get more reasons to print more, right?
Yep.
It's this insane new design that we came up with. Here's Nixon. Was this from the heist? It might have been.
No, that's his baby picture.
This is his baby. I mean,
Dear
cute.
God.
He started off pretty cute. Once flipped on, the U.S. war machine never turned back off. Remarkably, there have been only 5 years over the last 50, 1976, 77, 78, 1997, and 2000, when America has not been actively engaged in war. The record makes clear that under American governance in the post-gold era, war isn't an avenue of last resort, but instead an integral part of a fiat political system. That is the entire story, very condensed and given to us on a platter, so that we may make the normies, make the plebs more aware of the fact that you are literally being scammed on every single angle of your life. Not only are your tax dollars going to be implemented to send you yourself potentially and your children into a kinetic conflict with Russia and China that you don't want to have any part with, but then also the entire design of this system set up in a way that they can actually continue to print and profit off of more printing because the war is increasing in need. So absolutely disgusting oversight, and really one of the bigger reasons why I am all about Bitcoin, because imagine if our fiat system was tethered to Bitcoin value, you would see a lot less missiles going across the sky, because each one of those, you can't just print out of thin air. So now we got this, talking about retiring in your 60s, becoming an impossible goal. Is 1975 the new 65? Look at this guy, just very tired, but probably in his zone, moisturized and in his lane. You know, I don't imagine that retiring is so terrible, Nick, but
I don't see the point in it. Retiring has only been around for like 100 years.
Yeah, I mean, and you stop moving, you stop finding that zest.
You stop moving, you start dying.
Yeah, you know, that's what kind of worries me about
within 5
retirement.
years? Is that like on average?
Yeah.
People that retire within
65
years,
is what
kick
the
can.
age is. Yeah.
Yeah.
After
you turn 60, if you stop, basically, if you just stop doing stuff, then you basically die.
Yeah. I mean, you deteriorate way quicker when you
Way
don't have a goalpost set at, you know.
Stay active, keep that mind going.
Absolutely.
And gardening is actually one of the best things for old people to do.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm old at heart, so that explains a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Absolutely.
like you're bending down, you're getting the synovial fluid going in your knees and stuff. You're getting dirt. You're like building your gut biome.
You're shaking off that arthritis.
Yeah. You're
And
getting
you're in the sunshine.
I like it.
Outside in the fresh air and sunshine.
I have a tree camera that I am now obsessed with because it captures all of the possums, all of the cats. I have a lot of animals living in a few sheds behind my house that I.
The cats are good. Keeps rodents away.
Well, they're all over the place, man. I even saw a pretty big snake on the old camera there. The trees have eyes around my place.
Good to
Beefed
know.
up the security a little bit. I
Good
think
to
that
know.
damn neighbor is moving out today as well. So.
Hey,
Shout out to the
nice.
damn neighbor.
Shout out to
We
you,
need a
damn neighbor.
damn neighbor
Bow, bow,
character.
bow,
in
bow.
We need
chat.
a damn
I wish
neighbor.
they could see the video, man. I wish they could see it.
I have never gotten that angry in like 10 years.
I told Drew he is the sole reason that house is not selling.
Hey, it looks like they worked it out. I think you cut off like 20K off the price.
Do you have video of this encounter?
I'll show you after the
He
stream.
does.
I'll show you after the
Yeah, I gotta
stream.
see that.
Yeah,
Heated.
it
The
is.
basement
It's
wants
really
to
funny
see.
though.
I was a little heated. I was a little hot and heavy. I mean, you call my wife a name, you're in person, it's going down. So,
It's so funny.
you know, here we go. We got more macro news. God, I got a lot of news to get through. U.S. credit card delinquency rates are now at their highest level on record.
Oh yeah.
Here it is, Nick. This
Are
is the
we
one you were.
Yeehaw, baby.
You saw this coming. I mean, I saw it too, but you made a very specific point to call this out as being the future for, you know, not only Americans, but the world at large.
Yep.
Credit card delinquency off of the charts. People are using their credit cards to basically stay alive. Hannah, what did you name your new pew pew?
Uh-oh. We were talking about Deucey.
Talking about Deucey?
Deucey.
Oh, is that what
it's
you
a-
named it?
It's a 22.
Yeah. I mean, and the 22 thing, I was like a little weird about at first.
It's a
But
22?
It's a
They
22.
were hating on me for my 22.
Who
Aaron.
convinced you to get a 22?
It wasn't me.
It's a
The
good
gun
gun.
man.
It's a good
But you
gun.
know what? After the weekend, like I solidified my decision because it just feels right. Like the way that it just feels good. The other
Yeah.
ones were hard for me to like.
It
If I
runs-
had to be quick, it would
Even
be
the
a
Glocks?
struggle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the
Oh.
Glocks, but they were a little hard. I broke a nail and I pinched
She
myself.
came out with some.
The
some battle
22
scars.
feels right, so
Yeah.
we're starting with that one.
Is a P322.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice weapon. I mean, it's
Nice.
got a lot of weight behind it. You're not going to have any recoil problems. And thinking back to it, the gun that I got my wife first was indeed a 22. So,
Really?
You know, there is that. She got
What is
more and more comfortable, then moved
How
up
many
to the
shots
9
is it going
millimeter.
to take from a 22 to take someone down?
Depends
Oh,
where
I
you
think
shoot
it would take
I
two.
mean,
I mean, to the body though.
I think it would take 2, and it holds 20 bullets, and they're very affordable.
You know, 22s bounce around inside the skull. They
I
don't.
mean,
I mean,
Yeah, I mean a 22 is basically the same size as a 223.
yeah.
Just there's just less juice behind it.
You can absolutely eviscerate someone with a 22 with the right placement. And then it's got, do you have a sight on it? A
Yeah,
red dot
I got
on
a
it
red
too?
dot.
Oh,
I like
cool.
her. I like her.
It's pretty
She's
nice.
my
You need to go shoot it for sure.
Yeah,
You need to practice
soon.
with it.
And the 22 ammo is so damn
Should we
cheap
name
to
it
learn
Deucey?
on.
It's
I
Deucey
think you
after
should name it
Deucey.
Deucey.
Deucey, my
We should put up a
Deucey.
chat poll.
Bow, bow, bow,
They're going to
bow.
definitely vote for him. He's going to be named Deucey. Eric Carlson, Glocks are overrated.
Glocks
Damn it.
are overrated, but we are going to
You
have
are
our
unbelievable.
range day in 2 weeks. So
Yes.
we're all going to the
we better.
range. Drew's cutting the video about what we did over the week or on
Yep.
Friday.
Yep.
We're going to have a range day.
What
But
an amazing time.
There is a tactical. There's 3 or 4 tactical ranges here in Georgia, Drew.
Where? Near us?
There's one that's very near us in
Okay.
Conyers. Yeah.
Okay.
And like you do it's like Terran Tactical. Like you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
go
yeah.
through it.
Oh, we got to go there.
Yeah, it would be dope.
That's what we need. But you know, we have Hannah's going to be starting off. Do we want to start her off? I mean, maybe that's okay. We'll just have to
but
slow it
it's
down.
all about being comfortable with
Yeah.
the firearm. So you're moving like through barrels, you're moving while shooting and like in awkward angles and like prone and like crouching down.
That sounds fun.
I'm
It's
sure they have a regular
awesome.
range too to like get used to it.
They
though.
do.
All right,
It-
Daniel,
it's
it
a
was
big
a
war
SIG.
range.
It was a SIG indeed. I felt
SIG is
weird
good.
about the
SIG
SIG.
is
My
good.
SIG's
SIG.
fine.
Y'all don't like
okay?
the SIGs now?
They do
Oh,
like SIGs.
I'm fine with SIG. They've made it to where you can customize the ever-living crap out of them. It's
That's
great.
true. I'm a Glock maxi.
I love
though,
mine.
so.
I love
I have
her.
a Glock too.
You guys know what was going on at the IRS in Atlanta? Someone posted this, Wall Street Apes. Never seen something like this before. The line at the Atlanta IRS, people screaming, "I want my money." Spend hours outside the Atlanta Tax Center for IRS help.
What the?
This line wrapped around the corner and the entire block. You cannot even see the end. We don't necessarily need sound. Look at this. We don't need sound
Yeah,
on
we need
this.
sound.
Look at this line though. You got all these people.
I think it had something to do with like they got a message that said they needed to show proof of identity. But I
Oh.
imagine that many of these people have not gotten a refund before.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now, like they've never really been in the system.
Oh
Now
my
they have to
God.
Get in the system, and I think it also might have been a scam.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be some reason. I mean, like I thought they were all trying to turn their stuff in person.
No.
The IRS actually turned away this entire crowd, gang signs and all, from actually getting some help from the IRS. Yeah, they got lawn chairs. This is not a small
Bringing their
line.
kids.
Where is this? Like downtown?
Yes, it's
Downtown
downtown Atlanta.
By Georgia State.
Look at this line. Look
What
at
the
that.
hell?
Look at that. The line, I mean, it doesn't show it all the way, but it is built up all the way down this street. Just absolutely insane, man.
Free money.
Free money, I guess so. Weird stuff going on at the IRS. More weird stuff going on with the Georgian parliament. Oh, yeah, we might as well turn the sound on.
Hell yeah. I love this.
Things are getting a little weird.
I love that.
You can tell you're like a bee's dick away from World War III when your, parliaments start beating each other to pulps in the halls of their lawmaking.
I think we should bring back settling disputes via
the duel.
The duel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Society would be so much better off.
Absolutely. Sack Nasty bringing up the 50 BMG. I am going to get one.
Yeah, it's like
Adventure, it was 10K.
Oh,
right?
10K.
We can make this happen.
MMP Shield is also good.
I like the MMP Shield.
That's a good one.
I like the MMP Shields. Green Day Profits. He's a Glock and Toyota Maxi man.
Ooh,
Cut
we
from
can
the
be
same
friends
cloth.
then.
Same cloth, baby. We're from the same cloth.
Let's go.
Does he work at Hit Network?
Yeah, I know. Like, do you work here already?
Do you own chickens?
Yeah. We are. I did get an inquiry from a writer that we're going to be looking into as well.
Nice.
So probably need to reshare that. We are bringing on some people, just an intern level. You know, if you got the skills, maybe we can get you into a different spot. But we are bringing some people on. We're expanding pretty good. And what else is expanding pretty good? The conflict between Iran and Israel. Now, Iranian missiles hit and miss rate. 331 missiles and drones were launched by Iran at Israel. 185 out of 185 drones were shot down. 103 out of 110 ballistic missiles were shot down. 36 out of 36 cruise missiles were indeed shot down. 7 ballistic missile impacts have been recorded on the Israeli territory. So they got the ballistic missiles through, 7 of them.
So verified ground war, Iran versus Israel.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I absolutely, and a lot of people are saying that this is just for show. Really, after sitting and thinking about it for some time, in my opinion, this is Iran showing Israel, hey, yeah, your Iron Dome system, very effective. But guess what? If we send 500 pieces of, 500 different units of various types, some of them do make it through. Now, if there's a nuke on just one of them, then it happens. Then the big one happens. And I think it kind of shook the impenetrable feeling that Israel had with the Iron Dome a little bit, because they were able to see, yes, we can get 7 ballistic missiles out of 110, but still 7 of them came. Those ballistic missiles can actually carry nuclear capabilities. So just got to highlight that. I know that there's a lot of, it's a war of information going on right now.
Yep.
A lot of propaganda, but I think both sides are able to claim a victory. Israel with its Iron Dome being mostly effective, and Iran saying, hey, we got 7 ballistic missiles through. Just imagine if the next set have a little bit of extra spice on the top of them. Could get very ugly very quick. So not underestimating the situation at all. I am, in fact, upgrading my bug out system. Gonna do a bug out bag update video too, because I definitely updated the bug out bag over the weekend. Any suggestions for a good sniper rifle? Cali Crypto, dude, I would go no other place than the 30-06. Okay, and the reason why I like 30-06 is because it's a very common round. I am very used to the 30-06 in particular, but I know that the 338 Lapua, a lot of people love the Lapua.
It's overrated.
You think the Lapua is overrated?
I mean, look at the difference in rounds, the cost.
Yeah.
Not worth it. I mean, what are you sniping? Are you sniping people? Are you sniping
Well,
elk?
I mean, if you're sniping, you got to have the ability to go up to, I'd say, a bear. I think that you need to be causing problems for even a bear if you're utilizing a snipe. My next one, I'm sticking to the 30-06 until I move to the 50 BMG. But then it'll be in the midst of the bull market. I'm going to buy a tank or a Humvee and then put it on top. And, that's just the way it is.
What are you shooting with the sniper?
Yeah, you need the
What?
you
That
need
is
the-
for me to know.
If it's if we're talking about an actual like honest to God sniper rifle, you just got to get a PSG or the Arctic Warfare.
The PSG?
PSG.
What caliber?
I think you can get it in 300 blackout.
Okay. 300. I mean, my dad's a 300 blackout lover.
Yeah.
I just never really got into them, man. Like,
Yeah.
I
got it. Yeah.
I'm just a 30-06 max.
But if you want an actual sniper rifle, you cannot go cheap. There's no such
no
word
way.
Sniper rifle and cheap are mutually exclusive.
They
The
don't go
scope is going to be more than the gun itself.
If you're lucky.
And veteran crypto shared that new scope. They're coming out with scopes that have automated windage systems on the top of the
Really?
scope itself.
That's cool.
That's
It
hard.
is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So Dirty Dan bringing up the 8.6 blackout. I think Garanthum did a review on that one. That thing looks insane. Bull market moves, my friend. Or, profits on the way up because this is a melt up and you might need it quicker than you thought. What you got, Hannah?
Super chat from Alden.
Ooh.
He's what you guys think about the Air Force Texan SS-50 caliber air rifle?
What?
I think I'm gonna get me one.
Air Force. Hold on. Let me
Air
look
Force
at this.
Texan SS-50 cal air rifle.
It almost
SS.
sounds fake.
I know. What is this? A 50 cal air rifle?
50 cal?
Let's see here. Airgun Depot. Let's see
It's an
here.
air gun.
Dude, I mean, I think I'm seeing
Full
this
length,
thing.
fully
Pew, pew, pew,
suppressed.
pew.
What
This
is
is a air rifle. This is like a pellet gun.
Yeah. Well, it's an air
What?
rifle, but I mean, it looks like it shoots pretty large. Dude, I'm gonna have to investigate this a little bit further. Hold on,
Okay.
don't turn this on. This guy's too loud. Let me look at this. Well, I want to see the product. Show me the product here. I don't
It's
really.
an air rifle.
Yeah, I mean, it's an air rifle.
But does it really shoot a 50 caliber bullet?
It'd be a pretty slow moving 50 cal bullet unless it's got a lot of air
How does
behind
this
it.
work?
I'm gonna have to. It's got a PSI tank. It looks like it plugs into. I'm gonna have to do further investigation on this before I give the yay or nay on this one, Alden. This is a brave new world to be sending 50. That can't be a 50 cal air rifle.
It says .50.
It's .50. Really?
Yeah.
How is this happening?
Look, yeah, it
why
says
is
you
going-
can get it in .510 caliber.
Okay.
You can get it 45 and then you get it in 308, but it's an air gun?
What?
What
Dude.
is happening right now?
I mean, that might not fall under the same firearm laws. You know what I mean? It's an air gun.
Is it
It's
like
an
a
air rifle.
canister that has the suppressed air in it? Like,
Yeah, it'd be a PSI canister.
Or are we
that's
going
pushing
back to
pressure.
like the days
Yeah.
of muskets where you have to pump it up yourself? You know,
What the
You know, I
hell?
don't know. I think
1,000 feet per second,
my comparison.
650 pounds of joules energy.
I love jewels.
Yeah, I'm
joules
just gonna
are
stick
good.
with 308.
Dude, yeah, I mean, I'm sticking 30-06, but this is intriguing. I mean, this is intriguing indeed. I love how the development of weapons just never stops. The
Air
ATF.
charging.
You just see that the
So-
ATF gave up on their little
Yeah, there's a pump.
brace.
That's a pump right there.
That's a pump?
You can hand pump
You
your
can
gun.
hand-
That's like dang musket days where you have to clean it out yourself, put the bullet
Oh my
in,
God.
gunpowder.
Does this come with like a pen and quill so you have to write
Dude.
letters home to your
I'm out.
to your
If I
wife?
have to pump up my own gun, no
Dearest
thank you.
Elizabeth,
Yeah, that gets,
That's-
and
I
it's
write to you
$1,000.
in the winter of November.
And
Me
you
the
got to keep in
boys are
mind,
hardtack.
you got to breach like 3,000 FPS to
Oh,
be
veteran
breaking
says
through
you can
steel.
get a full auto air rifle without a permit or background check.
There, hey, see, veteran
Maybe
confirming.
that's why people
That's what I was
want 'em.
thinking because it's an air rifle. It probably gets around.
That
those-
would make sense.
Wow, what the hell? Okay, life is getting weird on us real quick, you guys. Apparently, we'll be watching out for air rifles. Probably pretty quiet. This is footage from the Iron Dome failing to intercept a few of the Iranian missiles. This is, in my opinion, a little nod from Iran that, yeah, we can get these guys
So
through.
I don't think the math is adding up between what the IDF is saying and what.
It sounds a little skewed. And I think Mario, he leans towards supporting Israel, dare I
Yeah.
say. He's more positive about Israel news.
Interesting.
I have seen the Iranians claiming that a lot more got through than just 7.
Yep.
There are definitely videos showing at least 5 made it through, but just imagine if just one of those, that's sketchy. For Israel, one of the touted most technologically advanced militaries on the planet, to see a few ballistic missiles come through, that shakes you in your jimmies.
Yep.
Now, something very weird. Oh God, what time is 3:02?
Yeah.
Damn it. All right, I'm going to fly
so
through a
much
couple
fun.
notes. Guys, it's getting weird. The National Weather Service radars were out overnight, and there has not been a good explanation why as of yet. I'll be paying attention to this, see if they turned the radar off on us while everything's going haywire. We have this, just a little bit of movements from our Navy, which is moving near the Strait of Hormuz. Expect some heinous news and some conflict to be kicking off in the Bering Strait and the Strait of Hormuz.
The rugged nerd just
What?
dropped one.
Last time I shot a hog with a subsonic rounds, I ended up with a child support payment. Oh, anyone going to talk about the countries letting Iran fly through? Holy shit, the rugged nerd.
Holy crap.
Wow, that first one, a brave new world.
That
we
got
live in.
you.
That's very
That got
brave.
everyone.
Very brave.
Holy crap.
Anyone going to talk about the countries? Yeah, it was Turkey that I saw a little bit of a betrayal. Turkey
Yeah.
betrayed NATO.
Yeah.
They blocked U.S. from operating in their airspace,
Mm-hmm.
and then we did see Iranian proxies taken off out of Iraq. We see Lebanon with a few very questionable locales that were being targeted by Israel. So yeah, the world. This is turning into a worldwide conflict.
But it's not a world war.
Not yet.
It's not yet.
Not yet. Man. Okay. So I think we got all of this. A guy can't, Canada, just more tyranny. You can't withdraw your cash out of a couple banks in Canada with no good damn reason given by the banks. A lot of these videos are surfacing of bankers refusing customer withdrawals. Yet another reason to hold your own value. This, brought up, we're going to have to cover this on tomorrow's show. This
Yeah, we gotta
is
do tomorrow.
Dominic on ICP and its future in AI. We're going to cover this one tomorrow too. I'm going to save all this stuff for tomorrow, you
All right,
guys.
I'm not going to show them.
Yeah, don't show them. We went over. There was so much to talk about.
I know.
So much.
We had a good guest.
We
It's
bought
Monday.
guns right before that market crash.
I know.
Literally the day that World War III started.
Right. We get out of the store. I pull up my graph.
Not funny.
Just. So it feels good, man. Experience those profits along the way. Change your life actively. Love every single one of you out there. Zachary Martin, KO Kev, Crypto After Dark, Jake with his Twitter show late at night, Eric Carlson, Alden, Bob from Accounting, Nicole Ministata, Sin Diesel, and Two Bros Mine and Shake and Bake. I love every single one of you. We got Nick on the sticks.
That's
That
right.
rhymes, and I'm sticking to it.
Nikki
Aaron,
Sticks.
we need the thigh emojis built
Thigh
in.
emoji.
We
Come
need
on.
thigh emojis going on. Hannah, if you can make this happen, great. They don't want it to be a chicken strick.
All
Thick
right.
and nuggies.
Yeah,
Even
thick
just
and
with
nuggies.
thigh meat.
Show us your thighs.
Hannah, appreciate you here. I'm glad you're not going to go get stuck in Dubai or Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia while everything goes to hell.
Blonde broker's in Dubai and she's never getting out.
Dude, don't say that. I mean, well, actually do.
Never
That's
getting
fine.
out.
That's fine. Whoa, how'd you do that? Look
Don't
at
worry
you.
about it.
What? Nick is figuring stuff out over there.
Whoa.
Nikki Sticks. All right, we're getting out of here. Gonna send it. I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure to like and subscribe on your way
better.
out. Share this. We're peacing out.
Bye.
Bye.